You're listening to Power Stance Gaming Podcast, the #1 podcast for gaming and hobby banter. With your hosts, Jacob, Greg, and Muddy.
G'day everyone, Jacob Conner here, professional count-in from my boy, David Muddy Muddyman.
No worries.
And
anytime.
had to show Mr. Gregory Millsop how to get it done. Greg?
Morning, listeners, and I can't believe there's no swear words. Brilliant. Well done, Muddy.
Not yet.
We're officially 30 seconds into the podcast. Let's not suck each other's dicks just yet.
Totally unnecessary. Totally unnecessary. And Jans, I'm loving the new gear, the new setup.
Yes, big shout out to our Patreon supporters, every one of you. We've saved up the pennies for the last couple of months and managed to splurge and got ourselves a couple of mics. So we feel very professional right now.
Very schmicko.
I'm actually feeling a little bit nervous now. It's like, oh, wait a minute, I'm not used to this.
It's space, isn't it?
Oh.
Yeah.
You should probably stop licking it.
I know.
That would be a good thing to do.
This looks so tasty.
Yeah, silence is gold.
Boom.
All right, well, let's just get straight into it. We've had a couple of busy weeks. I know I have, but we'll let you guys have a shout first. What have you been up to, Muddy?
This week, the little fella has been home the whole week ill.
No way, the whole week. He dragged that out for the whole week.
Yeah, and I've paid for it quite dearly. So, not too much in the way of actual gaming, although we played some Walking Dead the other night, so that was good. And apart from that, I've been just painting some Greek cavalry.
Yeah, I hope our listeners...
the Armada still. Yeah.
I was going to say, I hope our listeners have jumped on and checked out the video you did, Muddy, for the Walking Dead.
Yeah, I'm going to put out another one pretty soon. I'm going to try, emphasise that word. Maybe every fortnight or something. Put out a little vid.
Cool.
Just sort of showing what we're kind of doing around the traps. Yeah.
So it was a tournament game you played, wasn't it?
That was
style
That
game.
was the Mantic came out with 2 scenarios that are basically for tournament play. And so we had a quick look at the 2. We were running a little short on time, so we picked I think it was grab the goods or something like that from memory, and we just threw our sides on and had a crack, and it was a really good game.
Yeah. So what was it? So no, what we've played has been grab the loot box. It's been like 3 loot boxes.
But grab the goods is kind of the same thing, but you're specifically looking for a particular item, and it was just I asked it really.
Yeah.
I first loot, open it up.
Abraham gets it first go.
Boom.
Yeah.
Spends the rest of the game hiding at the back of the board like a little bitch.
What?
I ran back there.
That's not in character.
But that's actually, it didn't really help because you just shot me anyway, so you can't really hide. But I had another guy back there in reserve to clean up the goods and get the win. But I actually liked it, although it would have been better if I hadn't picked it up probably first crack of the boxes.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day,
It works in your favour, but
Yeah.
on the same time, like, the board's so small, you've got nowhere to hide.
you've got nowhere to hide. And literally one of the cards one of the events was literally 2 zombies got put at the back of the board for me to deal with as well. So I had the zombies at the back, and then I had Rick literally charging down the pitch, looking for something to
Some
put his
Abraham.
hatchet into.
Some Abraham.
Yeah, so I was literally throwing guys in front of him, just trying to slow him down.
Yep.
So it worked well as a tournament game, like, because you've talked about your next tournament style of game. Is this going to be your next baby to take to?
Well, I'm not a super ultra tournament sort of guy, but I could definitely have fun with this.
I think it certainly works in organised play.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it was interesting with...
Yep.
Because, I mean, you just rock up with your crew, with 250 points worth
It's 250. Yeah.
and then 7 points of terrain.
Yep.
So you can bring whatever terrain you want, basically.
I do
and
like
go from there.
that 7 points of terrain. I do like the fact that it's point costed, and you know exactly what that entails.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that's a
So
very
we had
smart-
14 points of terrain on the board, and we'd probably normally play with about 30.
Yeah.
So we go very terrain heavy when we
We love
play.
the terrain.
It
makes the board look like come to life.
So
Yeah.
is a building 1 point?
5 points.
No,
I wouldn't have thought
buildings
it
are
would
worth
be.
more, but we didn't have
What's
any.
a car worth?
2.
Yeah, okay.
We had just some trees.
Yeah. Standard
some
trees is 4
barricades.
points. So
Yeah,
yeah.
that was pretty much. So we didn't have Oh, and we had 2 cars?
Now, Greg's seen the video. He knows how much terrain they had on the board.
apparently. Yeah.
I have watched the video. I did
It's-
watch it.
Okay.
Oh, it's next to the Twitter.
But it was what, 5 days ago?
yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah, about a week ago.
Did
Yeah.
you hear the CEO came out on Twitter today saying that basically, like, you need to clean the act up, fellas. They've dropped the ball and they need to sort it out. So, no more late night tweeting twits from you.
Twits from me?
Connor. Yeah, I know
I
you're
don't-
fond of your late night.
I don't
looking
twit.
I know you're very fond of looking at the twits in the evening.
You can definitely fall down a rabbit hole sometimes.
I think the CEO is trying to stop that.
Okay, all right.
I just thought it was very interesting. Made me
Just
chuckle.
chasing those alien conspiracy theories and that sort of thing.
Oh,
That's what
right.
we're talking about here.
Yeah, I was going to say, I got
Yeah.
nothing. I got no idea what you're talking about.
Absolutely.
That's all right. I'll just have to stick to the tube, by which I mean YouTube, of course.
Of course.
Yeah, not anything like sunsetting
Watching
type
my,
thing.
watching my video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Good.
So,
Yeah.
are you gonna play it at a tournament?
I don't think there are. I don't think there are any.
Maybe it's time you stepped up as.
Jacob. I think it's time Jacob stepped up.
Because he knows the rules.
He knows. Well, they're pretty easy. They're actually pretty easy rules. But yeah, it's easier when he knows all the rules. But he likes running tournaments too, doesn't he?
He loves it.
Yeah.
Can't get enough of it.
Yeah, I like just turning it up.
He was just saying like the other week, like he needs to run that tournament.
Yeah, because we're talking about the Aristeo one.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he said he'd run that too.
Yeah, no, yeah.
So we should just keep piling on tournaments to him.
Yeah, totally. He should be
Yeah.
like his like weekly, like his weekend job.
Yeah, and we can just rock up and
Because
have
he's so good
sliders.
at it. He's so good listening.
Yeah, I think the people should write in and say you should run out my next event.
Yeah,
That could be his full-time job. He could give up Education Queensland.
I think so. So, BrizCon, you're not taking. If you do go, because of whatever.
Oh, what's the date? I've got to see the dates. Where,
28th of April, but don't quote me. But it's
Yeah.
back end of April.
and what events?
Everything.
Can't be everything.
Yeah, that narrows it down. Yeah,
Yeah,
everything.
thanks.
It's everything.
What events? Give me a couple.
Well, King's of War will be there.
Yeah.
Age Sigmar.
Yeah, no.
Infinity.
No.
What are you just being Mr. Negative over there?
No.
Will Ninth Age be there, or they need to go to Officeworks and get their terrain done? Went there, DT. I went
That
there.
was a low blow. I actually read, a bit of stuff in the forums about that, and there was sort of reasons. I mean, look, the main
For
sponsor.
the listeners that aren't know what we're talking about, we down at CanCon, the Ninth Age boards had paper printed terrain.
PDF, because it's a PDF rule set, so you might as well go PDF terrain. And then imagine how easy it'd be to take your models down on the plane.
Yeah,
if it
in a
was just
manila
PDF.
folder. Yeah.
You can just print them out, stick them on. Easy.
just take a picture of your unit and then just cut up it.
put it on a piece of cardboard.
Yeah.
And then
We
push
don't
them
actually
around.
play anyway. You just put your armies down and then agree on a score, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be easier.
DT.
DT, you hearing that, DT?
Look, to be fair to Ninth Age guys, their principal terrain sponsor pulled out 2 weeks before, and it was unworkable to get so many tables of terrain. So
Yeah.
they did the best they could.
Yep.
You know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I guess next year's will be even better.
Yep. So you're still dodging the bullet. What are you going to play at BrizCon?
Well, so far out of the game systems that you've given me, it'd obviously be Kings.
Well, because we can't switch your phones on because we're
Yeah.
recording.
Yeah.
I can't look at the BrizCon schedule.
Yeah, I'd say it'd be Kings.
Yep.
You know what
Or
I'd
Walking
love,
or
though?
Walking Dead.
Yeah, if Walking Dead was there, I'd do that. I'd love it if someone actually ran
Walking Dead.
a Kings of War historical tournament.
Ooh.
Well, Kings of War run mixed, don't they? You can
Yeah,
take
I know they
historical
run
units.
mixed. I was looking at the CanCon results. There was, I think, maybe 3 historical lists there. People will probably tell me if I'm right or wrong, but I think it was roughly 3. And they've just blanket put them into the software as Kingdoms of Men, but they're all down the bottom. It'd be nice if maybe the historical lists maybe faced each other first round even. And then there was like a separate award maybe for the historicals
The 3 people.
yeah, well, it might entice more people to come across if there was a bit more of a, because there's a lot of people with historical armies. It might bring some of them over, and I know if it was a historical tournament, I'd probably be more inclined to go, because when you put in the historical lists versus the fantasy ones, like, you've got no flying. How do you deal with flyers? So you're pretty much getting pasted every game.
And we've seen the season finale of Game of Thrones, so you know how you deal with a flyer for a historical army.
Yeah. So that's something I would really like to see.
Maybe you should run a tournament.
Yeah,
Let's start a tournament.
Yeah. Four people will turn up. Yeah,
And it's going to be awesome.
yeah, it would be. At least you'd get a podium. Anyways, enough of that. What have you been up to?
So I played a slow grow game last week against Ben Morningstar in Rory's very slow grow league. So
Very slow grow.
It's been going now a year.
But it's still
no,
going.
just shy of a year. 11 months.
That's still good though. It's going still.
Absolutely,
It hasn't
it's
collapsed.
great. Yeah, it hasn't fizzled out. It's given people time to collect their armies and
Paint them.
paint them up. Yeah, which I've now got a fully painted Neoterra Capleton army. Is that right? Capleton?
Capital N.
Capleton.
I have no idea what you just said.
Yep, there you go.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Sounds good though.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, so, and Ben's a new player, and he got boned by his own dice. So we played this mission called the Armory, where it's no longer, unfortunately, in this current season. And I was thinking about this.
So you're still using the old season rules?
Yeah, season 8.
Okay.
So, unfortunately, so what happens is with Corvus Belli and Infinity, each year they redo their tournament packs, the tournament system.
The ITS thing.
Yeah, and their tournaments, the missions are all, there's always 20 missions. And for whatever reasons, they get rid of a couple and they bring some new ones in, I guess, to keep it fresh.
Yep.
But I was thinking, which is good and bad. The Armory, I think, is one of the better ones. Actually, it's a lot of fun. And unfortunately, it's gone in the new iteration of the
they got rid of it.
Yeah, the season.
Yep.
So it was last year's and it's gone this year. But I was thinking, why can you just keep it as an appendix? Keep all the old missions within an appendix in the back of the ITS.
I'm going to throw something really kind of left field at you, Greg.
Yep.
Ooh.
You don't always have to play tournament games.
No,
So
absolutely. But
you could just play something that's not ITS.
And yeah, you could. But also,
Just chugging that out there.
Yep. But you could also have an appendix with all the old missions in it to keep it different. So if you're like, oh, you know what, let's crack something out from back in the day.
You could still. Why can't you do that now?
You can still do
Why
that.
couldn't you just print out the
I see what you're
PDF
saying.
and chuck it in there?
I don't know if they keep. I've no idea on the website if they keep a thingy of them. What's the word? Archive. That's it.
Okay.
No
Well,
idea.
I've definitely got the season 8 sitting on my
Yeah.
hard drive somewhere. So
I don't.
yeah, I'll
there you go.
I'll email it to you.
You don't have to.
Yeah. Okay.
After all I've said. Anyway, so the mission involves a central room, and you've got to essentially break into it and then hold it at the end of the game.
Yep.
And in the meantime, there's like 2 vending machines full of weapons, and you roll your intelligence to get the weapons, whatever you get, and you randomly roll it up. And it could be crap, it could be awesome. You don't know until you roll it up. And that's essentially the mission. So Ben, he got first turn. He cracked open the armory and then proceeded to fail 7 times over 2 turns to get anything out of the vending machines, which totally boned him, because one of the objectives is to get more gear out of the vending machines than your opponent. Yep. So it totally shafted him.
All right.
Yeah.
What faction was he playing? Don't say Hacker's Lame.
Pano. Neoterra.
Yeah.
Same as me.
Stupid.
Yeah. Stupid whip. So
Yeah.
conversely, I ran it with my Tech B with a whip 12 and did it second time. So that didn't bone me, but totally boned him. So it was unfortunate. It was real, because I think if he'd have got that, if he'd have made a success within the first or second turns or first or second rolls, it would have been a completely different game. So it was unfortunate.
So is this the usual PC thing that you do, where I smash this dude and
Ground him into the ground.
yeah?
Is he a listener?
Did you have a filthy list?
It was my CanCon list.
Yeah, it's a filthy list.
Which isn't filthy. It's competitive. It's a competitive list.
Finger quotes.
20
Lots of finger quotes getting thrown around here.
20 orders competitive. It's 20 orders competitive, which is fine. In Infinity, that's fine, isn't it, listeners?
I thought that was the one that everyone was complaining about.
Yeah. Well, let's just remember in CanCon, I didn't do so well. Let's just remember that. I ended up in the bottom third of the table. So that's just,
Okay.
just leave it at that. So it was a fluffy list. So it did that, and...
Oh my god.
Yeah. And
It's how he sleeps at night.
spoiler alert.
He doesn't. He usually sits up stressing about the game.
Saw Black Panther.
Haven't seen it.
Yeah. What'd
What'd
you
you
think,
think?
Greg?
I think it was one of the better ones. I thought the message was brilliant. I thought the messages throughout, But the key, message at the end, like the what he said at the end to his brother when he was pulled the knife out, I thought was just holy cow, really?
It was big, wasn't it?
I thought, that's edgy for a Marvel movie.
Yeah, I think. I mean, this obviously comes from the experiences of the writer and director Ryan Coogler as well. Like, you can see there's so much of their identity.
Yeah.
By identity, I mean African Americans.
Yeah, a lot of passion.
Or Africans in general. Yeah.
Passion in the movie, and I thought. The chick who plays Michonne in Walking Dead, I thought she stole the show for me.
Yeah, she's pretty good.
Amazing.
Oh, his little sister stole the show for me.
No.
She was so cheeky.
Yeah, no, it was Michonne, whatever the actress is called. But I think this is going to sound dumb, right? But for me, it lost a bit from the fantastical element. Like this I wouldn't say
Did it
CGI.
lose the superhero thing?
Well,
I haven't seen
out
it.
of all the human superheroes, so not Thor because that's just ridiculous, right? But the rest of them, like Captain America, Iron Man, to a certain extent, are believable as they are, right, in that environment. But I thought Black Panther was a stretch, almost too far. I thought the storyline was amazing, but I thought that the sort of superhero elements, and I mean like the secret city and all that sort of stuff, I thought, oh, really? Like, come on. I get it, and it suits it, but I just thought, ooh.
It was really interesting. I read an interview, and they said that Marvel kind of gave the direction that they want Black Panther to be their James Bond, to be like the, sort of secret agency, lots of gadgets, lots of cool sort of stuff, rather than necessarily fantastical superpowers.
Yeah,
it's much more about his wit and his and the support around him rather than any of that.
Well, that certainly makes sense.
And then when you look at the film, like they've got the scene in the casino and all that sort of stuff. Like there's a lot of Bond
little
sort of things.
Buggy things that he uses to track the cars and
Yeah,
whatnot.
yeah.
So is he fully teched up? Is he?
Yeah.
Because I thought Black Panther got his powers from like some special bracelet or something like
A
From
flower.
a herb.
that's his.
yeah.
Is it a herb? Is it?
Yeah.
I thought it was some sort of like an item he had to wear or something that was handed to him from his family or something, like generationally.
Oh, the suit.
No, I thought it was like an item that gave him the powers, an
okay.
actual item.
Yeah, no, this is like flower or herb that he takes that makes him
Oh right.
what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But does that mean that anyone can do that?
If
it's-
they're strong enough to survive it.
Ah, right. Okay.
Because they actually like go into the spirit plane and that sort of stuff as
Yeah.
well.
Okay.
So you got to be strong enough to come back.
Gotta
Yep.
see it. Gotta go to the movies and see it.
Yeah,
it's
okay.
really
Take
good.
the family, take the kids. The kids will enjoy it. Yeah, kids enjoy it.
All right.
I thought it was excellent. What do you think of it?
Yeah, I loved it. I reckon it's probably my second favorite Marvel film.
Really?
Third favorite Marvel film.
Oh, third favorite.
Fourth.
favorite.
Okay, yeah. I keep thinking of
Oh,
all
it's
the other ones.
going slowly down the list here.
Yeah,
Well, what's your top-
when I walked out of it, I was blown away, and I thought the only one that's better than that is Winter Soldier.
Really?
All right,
And
so
then I was like, no, maybe I like Thor Ragnarok better than that. And then
Yeah.
maybe I'm like, then I saw Guardians of the Galaxy the other day, and I'm
Guardians,
like, yeah, no, that's still
wait, the
up there
first or
too.
the second?
Guardians, first one.
Yeah, the first. I didn't. The second one was a bit. Yeah,
Second one was okay.
yeah. It was nowhere near as good as the
No,
first.
no.
Yeah.
It was
yeah.
it was good, but yeah. No
So
one-
what's
Yeah.
your order? Because
I
you're a
did
big
cry
Mar-
like a bitch in the second one though. I was like,
Oh, really?
tears streamed down my face in cinema. I could like when they're like at the funeral at the end, and I was like, oh.
Do you really want to be saying that on like?
No, I'm not ashamed.
He's a bit of a pussy.
Not ashamed.
That's going to be edited out. You watch.
Yeah, he's a pussy.
That's going to be our new intro.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how proud
So
I am.
being the
that I
big
cried.
Marvel fan,
Yeah.
top five,
Top
in some
five?
sort of order. Yeah, I'm just intrigued.
Winter Soldier.
Yeah,
I think that's hands down the best one.
yep.
Then I would say Thor Ragnarok, just for how much it blew me away and how funny it was. Then Guardians.
Yep.
Then Black Panther.
Oh, really? So
Then
so
First Avengers.
Yeah, I was bet that's exactly what I thought. Your first Avengers would have been in the top 3 or 4.
Yeah, but then I watched it again maybe a month ago, and it had faded a little bit.
Okay, yeah, but that's a bit
And I
unfair
think that's
though, because
Probably
then
because
if
the
you-
characters have all evolved
yeah,
past there.
if you go
quite a lot.
rewatch all of these movies again in 5 years' time, you might completely
Yeah.
change the role.
Well, Iron Man 1 stands up really well.
I would
'Cause
say
it-
Iron Man 1 would be
One.
up there.
Because
As far as
that's a
mine.
standalone film, pretty much.
Yeah.
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 And that's sick. You just want to be Iron. How much do you want to be Iron Man?
I never
want a
watched
suit.
Iron Man and thought I want to be Iron Man.
What? Have you not watched it back in the 60s or
I-
50s?
No, I actually, if I was going to pick it, it'd be Thor.
Yeah, see, I watched Thor and wish I was married to Thor.
Thor doesn't get drunk. He can't get drunk.
Yeah, but he's flying around with a big hammer.
But he can't
bro.
get drunk.
Yeah, but so what?
That's a big thing.
He's got a big hammer.
Doesn't matter. It can't get drunk. I'm sorry.
He just belts the living crap out of Iron Man.
No, and by the way, look, I'll be. Yeah, no, he doesn't. He doesn't.
does.
He doesn't.
He does.
No, he doesn't. No, I'll be Iron Man. Thank you very much.
All right, I'm Thor.
Well, we know who's going to win that.
Me.
No.
Because without that suit, mate, you got nothing.
And who's got the ladies? Has Thor got the ladies?
Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
think so.
I think he does.
I think you'll find in any of the movies, he's got no ladies.
He gets all the ladies.
No. Whereas I get that chick, what's she called? With the suit? The
Chick with the suit.
Is it the Aussie? Isn't she? No, she's not Aussie. She's,
Black Widow or whatever.
No. The American chick. What you got? Gwyneth Paltrow, isn't it?
Oh, she can't even sing.
Well, she's not a singer, she's an actress, that's why. Stick to your skills. Stick to your chosen skill set in life.
Wait up. No. Thor gets that other one that played in Star Wars.
No.
Yep.
No.
Yeah, he knocks the back out of that.
No, he doesn't.
He
Natalie
does.
Portman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you not seen the first two
Oh, that's
films?
right. Yeah, he does.
Oh,
Yeah.
the DC guy is schooling Mr. Marvel over here.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
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 Natalie Portman.
Yeah.
Okay. Whatever.
Yeah.
All right.
I'd take Natalie any day.
Yeah, I'd still rather be Iron Man.
Have you seen the rap she does with Lonely Island?
No.
I have to show you that.
Yeah, show me that.
Oh, it's a turn on.
Oh, you know, talking raps, we still doing that poll to get Greg to do a rap.
Yeah,
in
that's
his
it,
pony
yeah.
suit.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
There's
still
no pony
happening.
suit. There's no. I don't know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
MC Pony.
Nope.
Because Facebook just they've changed it so now you can do polls on pages. Because we never used to be able to do a poll,
Right.
but we can now.
I didn't know that we weren't allowed. So here we go. Polls are on.
Yep.
Poll every week.
Speaking of a poll,
No, it's not happening.
Oi, what are you up to?
me,
Jacob.
what have I been up to?
Oh, Jacob!
Yeah.
What have you been doing, bro?
Well, it's funny. Like I was in a bit of a hobby lull, after CanCon. Like I wasn't depressed or anything.
no,
I
you
was
had
just-
a hangover.
Yeah, it did not go away. So I kind of eased off the hobby and probably didn't do anything for maybe 2 weeks after CanCon. Didn't even pick up a paintbrush or anything.
It's good though. It's good to have a.
Yeah, but then I was reading a lot, and then I decided to do this like unofficial source book for Genesis, and I got stuck into that.
The RPG
But
started.
as soon as I got busy, it was just like, bam, like stuff just started happening. So I got excited about Infinity again, and I started painting Infinity again, and we've got an Infinity event tomorrow, and we'll talk about that in the news, I think, Mr. Greg.
How like our Infinity chats, like we've got a
Blown up.
private. 80, like I would say, 200 messages a day, easy.
Well, I came back.
Easy?
I was at work today, and after period 1 and 2, I come checked it. There was 270 messages.
Okay, I would say maybe. Okay, I'll up that to maybe 500 messages.
Yeah.
A day.
Easily.
This is daily. This is.
I'm
Yeah.
so happy I'm not
Yeah.
on that chat.
Well,
But
I must admit,
it's infectious. You start
yeah.
the
I just sit
enthusiasm.
with it on my desk on my phone, and I just sort of watch it, course through, cycle through all these comments. So it's good though, because a lot of it's like some of it's rules clarifications, because we're all different levels.
Yep.
So there's JT on there, obviously, is Warcore, and then we've got some guys returning that haven't played for like 12 months at least.
Yeah, and that's interesting too. A whole bunch of the old guy to come back to it. So,
Why? You got a thought on why this is all of a sudden it's blowing up? Because there's no new rules edition, right? There's nothing
No.
new coming out of
I don't
the.
know. It's a good question.
it could just be that there's a lull in other games, and
Yeah.
Infinity is always ticking along in the background.
And it's
So-
balanced. It's a very balanced rule set.
What about Toha?
Toha has
Broken. Hashtag fuck Toha.
elements to it.
Buy our hashtag fuck Toha t-shirt now available in the PST shop.
You can buy that right now in our shop, listeners. Shameless plug.
Yeah, so back to what I was doing. So I've painted up 300 points of JSA in the last 2 weeks.
So the listeners that don't understand what JSA is,
Japanese Sectorial Army.
The ninjas.
Yeah. So the Japanese split of the Asian army, basically. Then I've got Necromunda arrived.
Yeah, I haven't seen
And
anything
I haven't
painted
even had a
yet.
chance to do that. I got G'd up after watching Sicario the other night, and I painted a Special Forces team.
such a good movie.
Oh, I love it. I can't wait
Best
for the second.
movie ever.
The second's going to be action-packed.
Yeah, It's gonna
Non-stop.
be brilliant. Have you seen it?
No.
Oh, you're
haven't seen Sicario?
So frustrating. Like, you gotta watch these movies.
You know what's funny? You're giving me a hard time. He still hasn't seen
I
Aliens
know. Well,
yet.
that's a
So
later
let's
episode.
just put that in context
Yeah,
here.
true.
Okay.
True.
Yeah, but Sicario is good.
Hey, there's another poll.
Bloody good. Yeah. One of the guys at work didn't like it. And I was just, there was 4 of us that were just picked on him, like dead set, full
Yeah.
pulled him to pieces. Like, just called him all
Did
the
he
names
quit?
under the sun.
So that's bullying.
It's dead set bullying, deservedly so.
Yeah, we're government employees. This is a-
What's he gonna say to his manager? Oh, they're bullying me over the fact I didn't like a movie. And his boss would go, "Which movie?" And he goes, "Sicario." And go, "You're such a loser."
Yeah, it's a
You're such
fucking
loser.
awesome film. Go watch it.
Yeah,
What's wrong with it?
yeah.
So yeah, I had Necromunda, did this special forces team, and then like bam, I'm back on writing or finishing up the rules for Charge the Lasers because
Yep. And you got your artwork.
the artwork's coming in. I'm like, shit, I got to
You
actually
better start
start
hauling.
doing something.
Yeah.
And then we played Fiasco the other night. Had Brad Smith come round.
Oh, he's all Brad.
Shout out to Brad.
With his, what did he bring the bucket of port with him or whatever?
Did he fall off his chair?
No, he's very well behaved.
Oh, he actually just fell asleep. This
He just
time.
had some mid-strength homebrew.
How is
and-
Bubble Boy anyway?
Yeah, he's good.
He's all good?
He's good, yeah. And Chad came around and we played Fiasco. And we used the Suburban rule set, play set. And it ended up Chad and Brad were divorced spouses who had a van full of bales of marijuana. I was the Catholic priest who had to sleep with Chad's character for some reason, while Brad's character was selling marijuana on my turf, which was the local elementary school.
How does this happen?
Yeah, we were asking ourselves that exact same thing while we were playing. So that's Fiasco. Like, we just literally, that was the situation that rolled up, and then they're like, okay, off you go.
And this is one you don't have a GM for?
No GM,
Yeah.
no.
Okay.
So it was good. My only thing was, I think the Suburban rule set was too sort of vanilla. Like, I think it would work
How
better.
was it vanilla when you've got the priest
priest trying
sleeping
to
with a
sleep with
divorced
Yeah, but what I mean
who's
is like,
selling pot?
it was almost like there were too many like leaps of suspension of
Outrageousness.
disbelief
Yeah.
in
Okay.
such a vanilla setting.
Yep.
Like if you played in the Old West and you had that sort of setup going, there's a bit of character around that stuff. You know what I mean? So it's a bit easier to get into it. Or, so I think I'd like to try it again, but in a bit more of an exotic setting
Yeah.
rather than just suburban streets.
I reckon Greece would work well.
Greece.
But I reckon we definitely need a dry
Ibiza.
run before we put it to Mike's.
Ibiza. Let's do it. Ibiza.
So she got her cans out. What do you do? I don't know. How many?
Anyway, enough about CanCon.
I like that.
Yeah,
CanCon.
Cancun.
Nice one.
Yeah.
And I can't think of anything else. I'm sure there was more stuff that I've been doing, but
So you got your mojo back.
yeah, I got the mojo back big time. I'm actually keen for the Infinity event we're playing in tomorrow, so that's going to be pretty good. Greg and I are playing in a event run by John down at Magic Vault.
Okay.
Yancy.
Is that at Annalee or something?
Big shout out to Yancy.
Annalee or...
Yep.
Annalee, yeah, TMV.
Yeah.
And thanks to Magic Vault for hosting it, supporting it.
And just make sure you check Greg at the entry for alcohol.
His
Well-
sports drink.
It's
Finger
funny
quotes.
because
He's frothy.
my
Street.
my provider, he's going to be there. So I almost messaged him.
Your
said,
dealer.
If you're going to bring any sort of like anything above 0.5%, put it in a brown paper bag because we got busted last time. But I thought, I'll trust that he'll do the right thing and not bring any because the pub's across the road. It's across the road.
Oh, so you can go across and get steak and chips for
Are
lunch.
we going? Are we having?
I think we're having dinner because the tournament starts at 1.
Are we going to book a table?
I don't
I
know.
meant to, sorry, listeners. I meant to ask
Mum,
this
are
prior
we?
to the podcast. I thought, why not? Why not? Why not?
I love your
listeners
sense of
for the-
timing.
for the ride.
Do you want to bring up a potential holiday as well halfway through this episode?
I did 2 weeks ago. I said. That's
Yeah,
what
we
I
know.
said.
we know.
Yeah, New Zealand.
Completely derailed everything.
Yeah. Such a good idea. Have you thought any more thoughts about that?
I think we don't talk about it on the podcast. That's what I think.
Why not?
All right. I think we might just leave it there. As you can tell, it's been busy for all of us. And I might just get straight in the news. What do you reckon?
Let's do it.
It's a great idea.
Do it. do the news.
News. Well, I know this got you very excited.
Very excited.
The new JSA, Japanese Sectorial Army.
Secessionist army.
Whatever, same thing, whatever.
No, it's not.
Space Samurai.
Ooh.
Yeah. Some sick minis.
No,
Oh
no,
my
you know what's better than
goodness.
Space Samurai? Real Samurai by Warlord Games.
Do you like historicals, Muddy?
A little bit.
Yeah.
So
So, now
give
it's-
us a rundown, bro.
well,
What's it all about?
again, details are still a bit thin on the ground, but this is what we know. Officially,
Is this breaking news?
This is
It's
like
oh,
pretty
you need
fresh,
you
Marty.
need bumper for this.
this is like red hot.
Yeah. Holy
so
crap.
the Japanese are
Maybe a
splitting
sizzle.
from Yujing,
Yep.
and they're
So the
they've
Japanese are leaving the Chinese.
We got a few.
I'm just breaking this down for those who don't
Yeah.
play Infinity, right?
Got a few like graphics earlier in the month, and it was like enough and that sort of stuff. It was
Enough.
like,
Oh, we had enough.
yeah, basically,
Oh, wow.
except not racist. But yeah,
That's
it's
not
still pretty good.
racist.
Not spoken racist like that.
That's not racist.
That was
Pretty
racist.
Yeah.
So what, if I do this, how you going, love? Is that racist?
No, it's just your mother-in-law.
Oh, right.
Yeah. That's just what you find in Caboolture.
No offense, Muddy's mother-in-law. You're a lovely lady.
No, she's lovely.
Yeah, so, and it's very exciting. So basically, the Japanese have existed alongside the Chinese as a sort of side force in their.
So the
army.
Chinese
The
walked
poor-
in, took over.
The poor cousin.
Yeah,
that right?
and the fluff is that they're repressed and downtrodden and treated like shit by the Chinese.
Yep.
So they're kind of rebelling, and they're becoming their own
Independence.
factions.
They
Yeah.
want independence, yeah.
And it's good for me because I've collected them, and I don't have any Chinese units. I've only got Japanese.
Oh, so now you can have a proper force.
Yeah, can have a proper
Rather
force.
than just the downtrodden.
Yep. And there's some sick minis coming out,
Ooh.
like a big Robo Samurai thing.
They got big
With
swords.
flags on his back.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can't be a samurai without some
Yep.
swords.
So I'm-
And flags.
Yep.
My force is mainly ninjas, but I think I'm going to get some samurais as well.
Do they have like monks and like samurai monk sort of?
No, the monks are Chinese.
Oh, okay.
They're
Hey, Pixie. You, Chippy Tucker. I'm Sandy.
Oh, monkey.
you two racist fucks.
It's not. That's what he sounds
true.
like. That's monkey. That's what he does.
And you're like trying to figure now.
He's
Chippy
born out of
Tucker.
a turd. Remember he's born out of the turd?
How many? Yeah. How many discussions did you have? Is it a boy or a girl?
Yeah.
Chippy Tucker.
Yeah.
What's that, Pixie? You want to fight?
So anyway, very exciting, and we'll have some more. And as soon as we get like proper pics of the new miners, we'll put them up on the socials. And I'm sure if you're into Infinity and you love your Asian styles, get your ear to the ground and check it out.
Check it out.
It looks amazing. It looks totally amazing.
Yep. Yep.
Cool. All right. Next we have G-Dub hitting the form. The new Morathia, both versions.
Oh, jizz.
Have you seen it?
Is
Matty?
that what we do?
Yeah,
Matty?
I've seen
We
it.
just
You
exclaim
went-
jizz
yeah.
really hard.
You went crazy with that.
Holy shit! That model almost makes me want to just
Well, do you want to explain to the listeners?
collect it and paint it.
You were Age of Sigmaring all over that.
It's not far off.
Yeah.
Because it was just gorgeous.
you were excited about the Age of Sigmar, and then that came out, and I thought, you're going to
Yeah.
literally.
Well,
paint
you know
a whole
me.
new list.
I love the new Dark Elves when they came out for 8th Ed.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
obviously,
especially with all
one
the-
generation ago.
Yeah.
And I actually got a huge witch army and
Daughters of Cain.
Daughters of Cain now. Yeah.
Hmm.
And I love the cauldron. I love the characters. The witch elves. The new plastic witch elves just look sick. So
So what about the Murder Cult? Murder Cult? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
yeah. And basically, yeah, that was my jam. But I passed on that army when we stopped playing. And yeah. But then when this
Let me just
this
pour a
miniature
little
came
bit
out,
out for my homies.
yeah. And we'll put the photos up on the Facebook. But
You didn't burn it though, so that was good.
No, I didn't set fire to them.
That guy's a tool.
I'm dramatic, but not that dramatic.
How good does she look though? Like,
She's good. The model itself is huge with this big snake body leading up like a gorgon, I guess is how you
yeah.
describe it. But she's also got these like desiccated wings coming out the back. And yeah.
There's two versions of it. There's that version, and then there's like the on foot version
Yeah.
with like a set of proper wings. I'd say like nasty sort of metallic looking wings. I
Yeah,
suppose.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
But that Gorgon type version is it's pretty good.
They're really mean, aren't they?
G-Dub.
Yeah.
For destroying 8th Ed.
No, but they just do stuff like this where you're just like, God damn it.
I can't hate you when you're so beautiful.
Their modelling is just pretty good in it.
It still remains to be the company to beat. To be honest.
It really is.
It's still the company
Yep.
to beat.
Yeah.
For 28mm plastics,
You can't beat them.
hands down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For 28mm, correct. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Whereas we all know the 32mm Kings,
Oh, here we go. The
course,
rock,
right.
the Rock Masters.
Course Belly,
Yeah.
32mm Kings. Thanks very much.
I'm actually working on a tactical rock design for a T-shirt.
Oh,
All right, next up we have from G-Dub, 2 entry-level games. Now, I don't know what the second one's called. I was trying to find it today. But the first one's Blitz Bowl, which was it's a watered-down version of
Blood Bowl.
A smaller version of Blood Bowl.
Yeah, it's like in the old Dungeon Bowl board almost.
oh, so it's like 2020.
Yeah.
Sevens.
Yes, sevens. Yeah, it's cut down version of the Big Daddy.
Yep.
So I think it's an excellent idea. So
I never thought. Well, I suppose Blood Bowl does take a while to play.
well, you know what? It's getting down into that board game. They're going toe to toe with board games. That's what they're doing.
Well, yeah.
And
They're shrinking it down. It's going to be who can have the best smallest.
they did the same with Necromunda. Now, for the life of me, I didn't write down the name of it. Jacob, do you remember what the name is? No. So I didn't write the name of it down, but it's exactly the same with Necromunda. Again, a smaller board, like a chessboard size,
Yeah.
and half the what do you call them? Gangs. That's it.
Yep.
So you can 5 against 5,
Yep.
or thereabouts. Again, don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure it was 5 against 5. So again, you probably play in under an hour. I think that's how it was advertised. Was play these games in your lunch break.
It's trying to give you more options to be able to play the games that you enjoy.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah.
And a wider audience.
And to suit the time frame that you've got to play the game. Yeah, it's very clever. Yeah,
Yep.
nice work.
Well, the idea is that they're those entry level games. They're the ones you give your kid nephew,
Yep.
and he takes it to school and plays with his mates, and they get G'd up about it.
Yep.
Yep. So watch the space, G-Dub. I think they're
Shares going up, suppose.
kicking out a lot of gold. Next up, now this isn't hot off the press, I should say, but I might have missed this 2 weeks ago, but I want to bring it up now. It's a personal favourite of mine. I saw that Forge World, via Forge World, they brought out the Gregor Eisenhower miniature for the 20 years anniversary of Black Library, which I thought was pretty cool. And I saw the miniature, and it looks. I read the Eisenhorn book way back when I was a kid, and it was probably one of the first 40k books I read. So I thought that's sick. The fact they brought that out, really good, cool.
So you're going to buy it?
No, to be fair, I actually very nearly bought it. Very close to saying to Big Mike, mate, I'll jump in the bagwagon. Thanks very much, but I didn't.
Do you have many Black Library books?
Probably got about 30 or so.
Oh, crap.
Only 30.
Yeah, I've given a lot away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I've got the whole Horse Heresy,
Yep.
like up to the first 7 books or something before it went to shit. Yeah, I've got them, which I think's pretty good.
Wow.
Yeah. Worth a reread as well, I reckon. Pretty good story.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we have the Harry Potter models. Jacob?
Yeah, exciting. I know. We talked about it last cast, but then they're blowing me away.
They're good. They're
They're
very good.
so good.
They're such good models.
They really are.
You're really going to
You don't need to convince me. I'm going to back the
Yeah,
Kickstarter.
it's done.
It's going to happen. As
The
much as I hate
first look at the
Kickstarter.
images, they were just like, how could you not? Like, it's very hard, even as someone that's not even really that into Harry Potter.
Yeah,
to
but
say,
even from
wow.
the renders, you could tell they were quality.
Yeah.
Then they brought them out in resin. Then they've released the painted ones, and they're just so good.
Yeah.
Keeps stepping up, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yep. And I'm hoping I've checked out a couple of the Batman since we last chatted. The Batman miniature game in plastic,
Yep.
and they're apparently heaps better.
Yeah. Yep.
Casts.
Oh, look, the metal ones were toffee, in all honesty. I was so disappointed with the ones I got.
Yep. Does toffee mean shit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yorkshire.
Yeah. You gotta do it louder. I know we can't because we're, our recording studio has got limitations, but you have to do it really loud. I'll show you next time we're out.
We'll have to have a contest.
All right. Tomorrow night at the pub at Annerley.
You're not going to win. It's not going to happen. You'll be shocked. Yeah. Okay. Look, that's it for me. But I've got one more, but we'll go around the table. Throw on the table. Jacob?
News. Come back to me.
Okay. Muddy?
How good are these mics?
Mics are good.
I thought you brought a whole iPad full of notes.
No.
Oh, so you just...
No, because I stopped. Because every time I write notes, you write everything that... It's like you just copied my notes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good, though.
So no notes.
One more thing before we come to the other thing I want to say. How good was Workbench Wednesday on the end of February? Because I know this is going to be coming out in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, it blew up, didn't it?
That's ridiculous. What I love is... I don't know about you, but what I love is the fact that it's so cross-sectional. Like, we've got 40K... We've got historical. We've got infinity.
Cheers, Testudo.
Bolt actions. There was
bolt action,
moderns.
Moderns, yep.
Yeah.
Like,
Malifaux.
Malifaux as well, yeah. Like, it just blew me away. So that's awesome.
That's what I love about our podcast and I love about our listeners. Is it's so varied. You know,
Not pigeonholed into any one particular system.
no niche.
Yep.
It's just banter.
Just like games.
Yeah.
I loved Testudo's Maximus.
It's Testudo.
Whatever.
Testudo.
It's not a Testudio.
Testudios. How vibrant his
He's
historical
a
stuff
good
is.
player.
Yeah, Condoretti.
Yeah.
I might just have to send
Like,
him all
how
my
much
stuff.
effort goes into each dude? Bloody hell.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, because he's working on the pikes there too. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty impressive stuff.
Mm.
Very impressive, actually.
Keep it up, listeners.
Yep.
Yeah, we love it. It's definitely a highlight of my Wednesday.
We love seeing your gear.
And he says we're inappropriate on the cast.
That was so rude.
Oh, my
That is
goodness.
so
We
inappropriate.
love seeing your
It's
junk.
the way he licked his lips when he said it. That was
the
the
way
scary
he
bit.
held the microphone suggestively too.
Listeners, that didn't happen. If I hold
And then
this
he did-
microphone in any
and
way,
then
it's
he
like
did
a
He did
that.
the
Half-curled
cupped hands in front of the
Cup
chest.
handing again.
Any news?
No, not from me.
All right. Well, I just want to wrap up the news section with Kickstarter. We all love Kickstarter.
We love
Oh,
Kickstarters.
well, what do you got?
Yeah.
Saw a Belton one again. Somehow they always seem to be for you. It's the 4-player card game.
What?
The 4-player card game.
How,
4-play card game.
how
Yeah.
inappropriate
Yeah.
is you?
So you
again?
can't do it 3-player or 2-player. It has to be 4-player.
No, it's the 4-player.
Oh, 4-play.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
But it's for breast cancer. It's all for the proceeds go to fighting cancer.
Oh, okay.
Oh, well, let's back it.
Yeah. Yep. Maybe not. But anyway.
Let's back it as a cast and we'll play it.
Oh, that could be a bit.
That's a bit weird.
I don't really want to be checking your breasts.
Ah, well.
Yeah, because that's how you play it. You check each other's breasts.
That's a
another,
card game.
And other bits.
That's a game.
Yeah. No, but think of... Okay. Do I have to like spell it out to you?
Yes, clearly.
I'm not going to go into it. If you can't work it out.
So 4-play is a glass of goon before dinner, right? Like that's
No.
gets him in the mood.
Yeah. 4-player. It's like the full deal. Like.
Yeah, I
Broken-
know. We're not playing it.
No, we're not
That's
playing.
what
no.
I'm saying.
You need to play it with
So
misses.
it's a
That's
legit.
what I'm saying.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
All right, okay. I've come at this completely wrong. I thought it was like a fun
No.
sort of naughty game, like
It's 4-play.
cards against
It's
humans.
4-play.
Oh,
And
it's
then you're-
legit.
It's
Yeah.
legit.
You
And
play a card game.
And you're saying you want
To get the-
us...
Yeah. That's what I thought was good for you.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Well, aren't you glad that I've got your eye for these things? I've got your back.
Yeah,
On
thanks.
Kickstarter.
Yeah,
you
thanks
know?
for that.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Still say we should back it. It's for cancer. It's for a good cause. All right.
Yeah,
It
'cause
is so
Does it have
inappropriate.
diagrams?
It is so
I
inappropriate.
think the cards are probably self-explanatory enough.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, Twitter's
Oh, did you
changing
look
the
at the cards?
terms and agreements.
No, well, it's not difficult. It comes up Kickstarter and it's
No,
got
but
pictures.
did it come up? Did it?
It's got pictures
Yeah,
of
I haven't
the game.
seen what
And of course, it's
the
got
components
cards.
were.
Yes, well, it's all part of the deal.
Okay, so they showed you the components as part of the Kickstarter
Yes.
backing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, listeners, if you're out there, get behind it, I say.
Yeah, it's for a good cause.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah. Back a few misses. You should love it.
Great. Well, let's get into a cast update before we go any further.
Time for a cast update.
So before we get too much deeper in the podcast, just want to do a little cast update. This has got a few things going on we want to just draw people's attention to. First of all, we do want to, again, for the third time in the show, and probably not for the last time, thank all our amazing Patreon supporters for our new kit.
I tell you what, Patreons, give yourself a big clap on the back because that's what you deserve. Well done.
Yep. It's because of the people supporting us that, we do this. If we didn't have it, then, we wouldn't be...
Yeah, don't lie. We'd still do it.
We would.
We just didn't know one would listen to us.
That'd be a little embarrassing.
Yeah, it would be.
So keep it up.
3 downloads.
This is me, Muddy.
Too, because you don't download it.
Well, his mum does, right? Your mum listens to it?
Apparently.
Yeah.
I'm not going to approach that subject anymore with Mum because I just do not want to go down that path with her. I do not. It's not a conversation I want to have.
So we've got that. The Toha competition is reaching its very final stages.
Climax.
So when this cast comes out,
Inappropriate.
this cast is going to come out on the 10th of March. What we're going to do is there'll be 2 weeks remaining in the contest. So I know there are people out there that have sent me messages, they've asked me questions. If you've got your entry waiting, DT, to get into us.
Yeah, hurry up.
Yeah, get onto it. So 2 more weeks. We're going to announce the winners that weekend.
Did you do the one that I sent you with the... You were going to put the...
I will do.
Yeah, cool.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm not doing it. It's for me.
Yep.
Greg's just doing it.
He refuses to do it.
Because he's got the paint skills.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's with Jacob.
I tried. I
Just the
hopped
cuts.
on paint and it was all over the shop.
Sensitive, man.
I think I actually did outdo myself with my last little Photoshop.
You guys seem to get it. I can't get paint.
So for our listeners, what I did is I photoshopped a piece of paper that said online microphone test and gave it to Greg with a list of words for him to read out. How'd that go for you, Greg?
It was a stitch up. Dead set stitch up. Oh, we all did it. I knew it was a stitch up. Bloody knew
I
it.
think gave it away when he said, "What was it?" What bit was it that gave it away? The dribble cum bit?
Yeah, maybe towards the last bit of it. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Sorry, mate. Sorry.
Just like him, so good natured.
That's for April Fools the other day.
March. We're in March.
Ah, shit.
We're just getting in early.
So new mics. What else were we talking about? Patreon.
Oh, the shop. Did you want to do your shop thing again?
Yeah,
I think we've done a fair bit of that already.
while we're whoring ourselves out, just a little reminder that we now have a PSG shop on our Facebook page. And from time to time, we're just going to upload some T-shirts, some designs, some stickers, some stuff. Look, it's there if you want it. It doesn't cost us anything to have it. I've already had one hashtag Fuck Toha T-shirt ordered. So
nice.
Congratulations, whoever that was. I don't know who ordered it. Because we don't print them or anything. We just put the designs up and then a third party prints it and sends it out.
You're
So
very quick to put the designs out there. Pretty much, like, on especially in Infinity Chats, the next thing you'll see a random T-shirt with just words on it. You're like, what? How the hell did that get there so quick?
I'm testing a few. I did do one today that was I played JSA before it was cool.
Yeah, that's really good.
Okay, it's a little angsty, apparently. Apparently I need to slow my roll with that. But,
So what, we're going to vet these things? We have to put it to the committee for approvals?
No.
No? Oh, okay.
yeah, Marty's just seeing green lights. He's going,
Be
nice.
careful.
I don't. Whatever. Off you go.
Okay.
So, you can check out the designs in our
Mr.
shop.
No paint skills.
And for the people who've been asking about
That is a bit harsh.
For the people that have been asking about our PSG T-shirts and where to buy them, well, there you go. If you really dying for a PSG logo shirt, check out our Facebook page, check the shop tab, and off you go. And if you have any requests or any ideas for T-shirts, hit us up. I'll do them.
Because Jacob will do it regardless. He's a total whore bag.
We get the commission, so whatever. You want a T-shirt for your Young National Socialist group? By all means, I'm there. In all seriousness, Nazis are bad.
He's just pimping himself out.
Totally. Yeah.
But again, we make a couple of dollars off the merch, and all that money, like all the money we make, goes straight back into the show. Where that's
Straight back to our crack dealers. Plastic crack.
Big
Big Mike.
Yeah. Big Mike. So,
Big shout out Big Mike. He's tossing me over his ogre army.
Yeah, what a nice guy.
I know. Just out of the blue. Just
That's
like,
amazing.
Here you have this.
Well, it's either,
King's War ogres, yeah.
Yeah. And
it's either
already
give the army
assembled.
away or play Kings of War. So,
Yeah.
it's a bit of an easy choice. But
Oh, let's look at the thing. We're giving away an Infinity Army. We're giving away a King's Army's been given away.
Yeah.
Toha.
Oh, right. Okay.
Greg's got that look like, what do you mean?
oh, can I get another army out of this? Yeah. So that's pretty much it. Unless you guys got any cast update news?
Don't forget to check out the YouTube.
That's all right. The YouTube channel, very worth checking out.
Okay, edit. All right. What about TSI? Do you
Check
mention-
it out.
And yeah, great. We've got Toy Soldier Imports have contacted us and hit us up and said, yeah, they want to get involved with giving our listeners some prizes and stuff. So get into a few more specifics.
Tell us a little bit about Toy Soldier Imports, Greg. What do they do?
Well, they sell toy soldiers, which is fantastic. But specifically,
I like playing with toy soldiers.
well, you'll love this because they sell Infinity.
They what?
Yeah, and War Machine.
Anything else?
They're your two
Lee-
favourite games, aren't they, mate? War Machine and Infinity.
Hold your breath. Hold your breath. Legion.
Ooh!
As in Fantasy Flight game Star Wars Legion.
That's correct.
That's the one.
Yep.
All right, that's exciting.
Which we're all very excited about.
Yep.
So that's excellent. And Run TSI is run by none other than Con and Dion of Infinity Australia fame. Con ran the CanCon Infinity Tournament.
Yep.
Unfortunately, Dion couldn't make it. But top bloke, Dion, caught up with him 2 years ago. He ran the tournament 2 years ago. So him and Con. So, and Tim Hall. We should not forget Tim Hall.
Yeah,
And
he'll
Mark
do a great
Fagan
job this year.
this year.
Yep. So we'll release some details about that in the very near future.
Yeah, very exciting.
What we're doing.
More
So
exciting for you listeners.
We got a
Yeah.
little deal for our Patreon subscribers first as well, I believe, with TSI or
Yes.
something along those lines.
Yes, correct.
As
So
yet to be determined.
stay tuned.
Stay
And if you're not a Patreon, geez, you want to become a Patreon. pretty
Jump
damn
on,
quick.
jump on. Legion?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
$1 a month is worth it.
And it gets you a set of steak knives.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't.
We're not giving away steak knives.
No.
We got the feds are watching us already because Greg's ordered all the replica guns.
That's true.
We can't start sending
That
knives
is
through the
true.
mail.
He's gonna get shot one day.
No.
I'm gonna read about you in the paper.
Yeah.
But fuck, Greg hasn't called back for a while.
There's a good chance I'm on the watch list. But anyway.
Local man was seen in a quarry wearing camouflage gear, carrying an automatic rifle.
Was shot several times.
Queensland police not known for their restraint.
Ooh, that's a bit harsh.
Yeah, might edit that in case I get a speeding ticket
Yep.
for the next 3
You want
nights.
to stay clean?
Yeah, so great. And again, it's just really exciting. To me, it's just validation. People in the community are liking what we're doing and we want to keep doing it. And yeah, we appreciate the support.
Big shout out to TSI. Thanks,
Cheers.
boys.
Legion.
Time for a listener question.
Right, so next up, we are going to go into a old/new/regular irregular segment. And that is the good old listener question.
Oh, we love this.
Oh, we haven't done one of these for a while.
We haven't, because we used to do the whip around every week.
Yeah.
But then people stopped giving us questions.
What?
And we got sad.
Come on, listeners.
I know. Such a passive medium podcasting. Get involved, people. But we have a wonderful question from one of our listeners.
Who's this?
I have to say, Jacob, good drop. Good drop.
A little break there for the Eubonic sanguine, the
Lovely.
Irish blood.
Yeah, that's gorgeous. I'll have to get onto. Give me the recipe for that one.
I did give you the recipe for this one.
so many times.
And he sent it to me, and then I lose it,
Yeah.
and then I'm gonna ask him again.
Just make it.
I absolutely gave you the recipe for this
I know,
one.
but I've got to search through them. It's just too hard.
It's in all these search programs.
Yeah,
It's
it's
just
way
shit.
This was the one in
There's
the...
just shit everywhere.
Yeah, never mind.
Tall, short, big boobs, little boobs.
I don't know what you're talking about. No idea what you're talking about.
Little curly hands,
Infinite-
bigger can of hands.
Infinity miniatures.
Infinity rocks, no rocks, lots of rocks.
All right, so this question, we'll just get it right back on track,
Okay.
is from long-time listener and friend of the cast and champion dropping our terrain off at the tournament tomorrow so we can rock up late. Mr. Clayton Teshward,
Oh, Chadster.
a.k.a. Chad. And Chad sent us a question. And
Mr. Energizer Bunny.
Hell yeah.
he does bounce on the
Yeah,
dance
He
floor.
likes his dancing.
He loves his dancing.
He likes
Holy
his dancing.
He's
dooly.
a groover.
Yep. I don't know where this question's coming from, guys, but I think it might be from a personal place.
Ooh.
He says, so, do you guys openly talk about your gaming hobby to friends and family? If so, how do you suggest someone else does who doesn't feel comfortable? All right, it was a bit awkward, but I think what he means is if we do talk about it to our friends and family, how would you suggest people can do that if they're a bit uncomfortable about it? So let's just do a quick run round. Do you, Marty, talk openly about your hobby with friends and family?
All my family, definitely. All my actual friends, like even gym friends and whatnot. Yeah. They'll come around and just be looking at it. And they call you every name under the sun, but that's what guys do.
Yeah.
You know, it's a term of endearment. No dramas with it. That's what I do. If they don't like it, they're not really much of a mate then, are they? Realistically.
Boom. Yeah.
You know, it's not hurting anyone and it's not that weird. Like with the...
It's a bit weird.
I dunno.
Let's look at pop culture, like the whole thing. Everyone's playing board games now. Video games are quite mainstream. All the comic book movies are mainstream. The Walking Dead TV shows. This is like quite normal for people playing the game. Yeah, maybe not, but they get the concept. So I don't think it's frowned upon anywhere near as much as it used to. And like I just said, like I've got mates that are all gym junkies, right? And they come over and they've got no dramas with it. They're all, all sporty types of people, and they've got no issues with it whatsoever.
I think the way board games, maybe in the last 5 years, have really entered the mainstream.
Yeah,
And computer games.
and
And
computer
computer
games, like
has really helped people's perceptions of the hobby. Because most people come around and look at my stuff and go, "Yeah, that's only really one step further than a board game."
Particularly when they can relate to it, such as Walking Dead and
Yep.
X-Wing.
Star
it's
Wars.
a totally relatable thing where they've seen the TV show and now I can see the 28mm miniatures. Like, oh wow, that's cool.
But it's not necessarily for them. Like, I think part of it is don't try and convert people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I think
a tough
that's
one.
where you get that cult thing where you're like, oh, just back up, man. Like, just respect that maybe they're not into it, and they'll respect the fact that you are into it. It works both ways. So don't sit there and try and preach and everything else. But if you're open to it and they're good mates, then they're not going to have an issue with it. But don't take a joke about your hobby that you play as anything negative. Like, that's what guys, generally do. We give each other crap. But yeah, I've never had an issue with it ever. And that even when I served in the forces, there was a lot of guys in there that used to play. A lot of guys, So
Because it was a tax write-off, wasn't it? If you're in the army, you can
no, I did hear about one guy who used to write off a Command and Conquer, the computer game. He just put that as a tax write-off. Yeah.
I used to work with a guy, and I'm fairly certain he used to claim, when he was in the army, he used to claim his historicals.
No, you can't. I think the tax, you can claim whatever you want. It's whether or not it holds up when you get audited.
Yeah.
Okay. But there was one, I remember when I was in support company, there was, they were buying military models, modern military models for recognition.
Okay.
So you could look from a distance and you could put these models out.
Oh, okay.
And you could, yeah. I'm assuming they probably were some form of a tax write-off at that point, but just rocking up with, Alexander's Pikeman or your latest Infinity model. Yeah, I don't think you're going to get that as a tax write-off. But yeah, it's a Chadster, man. Yeah. Look, if they're your friends, mate, just, you know what? Do you even need to bring it up with them though too? That's another thing. If it comes up in conversation, don't hold back, but you don't have to force it down people's throats either.
Yeah, it's funny because I've been sitting at the lunch table at work
Paint
all
models?
week, not paint models, getting updates from Josh, doing my artwork, and I'm like, just blown away, and all I want to do is show the people around me, but at the same time, going, do people want to see it? So I'm kind of, I end up showing a few people, some like my friends at work, but I just want to show everyone at the table, look at all this cool shit I've got going on. because you're just so G'd up and excited about it. And it's the same with other things, like I don't know, Greg, if you've like just done a shit hot paint job you're super proud of and go, I just want to show people what I got up to, kind of thing. Do you ever do that, or?
Not. I mean, friends and family, yes, of course.
Yeah.
Because they're your mates, and family's not gonna. They're gonna go, yeah, it's cool. Cherokee's probably overly critical, if anything. She's going, you could have done a better job than that.
Keeps you honest.
Brutally honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and your mates. I guess probably over the past, say, 10 years, I've ebbed and flowed to the point where I used to be a closet gamer, where I wouldn't talk to if somebody said to me at the weekend, what are you doing? Well, I would say I'm watching the rugby, I'm watching the Super 15, or I'm watching Ireland play, watching the league, doing family stuff, whatever. And I would sort of miss out a big part of, say, if I was going to a tournament on Saturday, just completely missed that out. It just didn't happen. Whereas now I'm people would ask, were you up the weekend? I'd say, yeah, going to a tournament tomorrow. They go, what in? I'm like, Infinity or whatever, and explain what it is. Like, oh, really? Oh, that's cool. You show me some of that, and like jump online, and go, here you go, or show them the phone, and I'm like, oh wow, how do you get into that? And yeah, so I find people to be very receptive of it, and I've had tradies come around and they've walked past my miniatures, and they go, oh, what's that?
Yeah,
and they go, and you sort of,
the hard part's getting them out of your house. I had tradies dropping off some stuff through my garage, and one of them just stopped the whole process of moving. The other guy was counting all the stuff in. He was like, "Oh, I've seen all the spaceship, all the spaceship models and stuff." And I couldn't get him out. Could not get him out. Like, yeah, thanks. I really want to go now. And
look, I think another credit where credit's due. G-Dub has gone a long ways to that, because certainly all my friends, whilst they go to, say, the shopping centres, and they go, oh yeah, see a shop where you sell your little toy men.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I always want to go in, but it's just full of kids and stuff like that. Yeah. I go, yeah, no, it's not. That's like the other spectrum. Like, there's different genres, and yep, that caters to a certain genre, which we don't. Well, I personally don't do, but but they get it. So it brings it into the mainstream. So because of that, people then, when they see our stuff, they can relate to it. Not only if they haven't seen it, as in, like, say, a Walking Dead or a franchise game, they've seen it in the high street because of G-Dub. So I think it all helps.
Yeah, that's pretty true. I think there's definitely it's shifted much more into the mainstream over the past few years. You ever had a girl rock up to your house? And I remember there's one time where I lived in the valley when I was
It's one time
younger.
At band
Yeah.
camp.
It's always band camp.
It's always bloody band camp.
So,
what, did you have all your gear out?
Well, you know me. Like, I've got all my gear up in bookshelves.
So she
displayed
went
all my models, and like come back to my bedroom, and she did a double take, and she's like, what's all this? And I'm like, it's just what I do. In my Space Marines.
Your stoic Space Marines.
Yeah, and I was just basically whatever.
Yeah, better that than probably like samurai swords and hatchets and chainsaws and.
Yeah,
that sort of stuff. When you're,
it's not like I was putting on a GIMP mask or anything like that, is it?
Yeah,
it's like
exactly.
That's just what I'm into. And
what's wrong with GIMP masks?
Oh, nothing's wrong with them.
Oh, right. I thought, phew. Oh.
But first night.
Yeah, that's the second night.
It's the second night thing.
To be fair, Cherokee did say to me that if she knew that I was into this, it would have changed her perception of me somewhat. Probably not in the best way. Not in the best way.
There you go.
Yeah.
Wow.
So. Yeah.
So I guess the lesson here is pick your target.
Pick your target.
Or own it. I think that's the big thing. If you own anything, people just sort of go, oh, well, that's just who they are.
Yeah, it's part of you, yeah.
Yeah. And that's kind of my attitude for a lot of stuff. It's just like, okay, so this is who I am. This is what I like. I get angry about bass players, but you know what? I'm going to tell you.
God, I get so angry about bass players.
And it's just one of those things like, okay, so these are things you love. This is what you want. This is what you love doing. So
it's your passion, yeah.
You can either go, if it's part of you, it will come up in conversation. And you've just got to go, you know what? This is just what I do. Yeah, like, no one ever goes, if someone's going, I played footy on the weekend. No one ever walks away from that conversation and goes, what a fucking loser, he played footy, Like, and there's a reason. It's because the person that played footy doesn't feel bad about playing footy.
Even the football thing, right? What's one of the first things we always fight about when we talk football?
Code?
The code.
Code, yeah.
we rip each other even over the code.
Yeah,
But we still
three different codes around this table.
That's
yeah.
right, but we still respect the fact that the person plays the sport. There's no issue with it. I'm not going to not hang out with someone because they like rugby instead of AFL or soccer or whatever.
You mean rugby, the game they're playing?
Yeah, bro.
In heaven?
That's right, bro.
Yeah, thanks. Just clarify that. Anyway, what were you saying?
Yeah, well, that's
Is
what
it-
I mean. Like the first thing, we still rip each other over things.
So you're talking about AFL because I don't understand what you're saying.
I'm going to see that.
Your lips are moving, but I do
Lions
not
playing
understand.
the Swannies at the local ground just around the corner tomorrow.
Really?
When we record this?
Is it the WAFL? The women's?
No.
They play out of.
I think the women's are playing on the day there, but no, the main two, it's a trial game.
Well, I hope the women's play first so the goal umpire doesn't get too tired.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like watching the under-12s.
It's like watching soccer. That's
Yeah.
the scoreline. It's a 2-0 victory.
Yeah, it's not. In a few years, it might pick up.
Yes.
It's good. I like
Yeah.
that they're doing it, but it's not exactly.
It's great they're doing it.
Yeah.
I should give them shade.
Yeah.
But I was up this morning, 4:30, watching the Matildas play Norway. So
Oh, how'd we go?
a 95th minute winner to the Matildas. They won 4-3.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it
So it
was
didn't go extra
fantastic
time.
game.
It didn't go like goal shootout.
No.
Yeah.
It was in the
Gee,
group
that's a
stage
lot of
tournament.
goals.
And it was gross conditions
Yep.
in Portugal.
But I thought that would have made.
Yeah.
I thought that would have made it so you got less goals.
It depends
All
if the ball's
heavy,
slick. We
slipping
got
around,
3 of our
hard.
goals in the air as well. So
Yeah.
Oh wow.
we got a
That's
tall
good.
team. It was good.
Oh, okay. Oh, they headed it in.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
So
Heavy ball too.
yeah.
That's a few brain cells.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway, you can
football.
edit that out if you
See,
need
Chad, that's what we do.
Yeah.
But I think if we're going to give one bit of advice, one
Own
thing that Chad take away,
to. Own it. Just own it.
And trust your friends and family.
Yeah.
And
You
I think
know, they're your friends and family for a reason.
if they're going to be a country lad about it, just tell them to fuck off.
Country lad.
Yeah.
Like that.
Well, it's for your mum, okay?
yes. Thanks, Jacob. Maybe Muddy could take a leaf out of your books.
So, listeners, if you have a reader's question that doesn't necessarily need to come from such a deep, dark place as Chad's tonight, I hope we have helped you, Chad, and that you feel free to talk to people about your hobby.
And chat, look, you know what I mean. I'm always up for a chat, late night chat if you ever need one after a few beers.
Yeah,
You can
And just-
always
you
come.
guys are roomies for life now, aren't you?
Absolutely.
Just show them your dance moves anyway.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
now I've heard it's like
They'll change the topic real quick. In all seriousness, though, if you do have a question, send it in. We want to hear it. Facebook's the best place to do that, or send us a private message, or email us at powerstancegamingpodcast@gmail.com.
Come on, listeners, do us proud.
Time for a big debate about rules. A rules mass debate. I don't get paid enough to do this.
All right, everyone, it's time for our newest regular segment, and this one is straight off the desk of Mr. Gregory Millsop. We are calling it Debating Mechanics.
Ooh.
Or as Greg's been calling it all week, masturbating mechanics. Because apparently there's more than 2 of us, so there's a mass of opinions, and we're just not going to touch it with a 10-foot pole. So welcome to masturbating mechanics. Greg, kick us off, mate. What's the first game? Oh, maybe set up this segment. What's the aim of this irregular segment?
So I was thinking the other day.
Like, could I just jump in? Was this while you were lying in bed, unable to get to sleep? You're thinking about some mechanic that screwed you over in a game?
Maybe not. Maybe not. I just thought that since our cast is quite diverse and we talk about lots of different game systems and we're always trying different games out with the reviews and whatnot, I thought it'd be a bit of an idea to pick a certain mechanic within a game that we've either reviewed or a game that we like and just run it through for the listeners because listeners, as we know, we were very insular for 10 years, I would say, where we just played nothing but fantasy and then we played nothing but Blood Bowl until it killed us, until we completely got bored of it.
Yeah.
Burnt
Burnt
out.
Burnt.
And probably in between all of that 10-year period, between those two systems, we played a little bit of 40k, like maybe 6 games.
Yeah, it was only a little bit.
Yeah, so we were very insular. So, and look, that's not a criticism. That's just the way it is. And I think a lot of our listeners are probably the same. I would say they've got their favourite system that they go to, and they sort of don't venture out. And that's cool. I get it. So
I don't. It blows my mind that people can only play one or two games.
Yeah, I would actually.
It wrecks me.
I would say to listeners, get out there and try a bit more. I would say, go on, try a bit.
Yeah.
What are you looking at that out for?
Just try an RPG.
Buddy, why are you looking all a bit
Play some Malifaux.
Donald Trump?
Why don't you play a bit of Malifaux then?
Is that directed at listeners or me?
Is that you, babe?
Get stuffed.
It's so cute watching you guys on the new microphones.
It's quite exciting.
Look, to be fair, you've spruiked your new Malifaux table, which you keep in secret.
Yep.
And once you get that, I'll have another crack at that, because if it's the
you
table,
heard that?
I
Yep.
did.
the table's as good as your fantasy table, which your fantasy table is immaculate. Then
Oh, mate,
Yeah.
I sent you guys the work in
The
progress.
secret squirrel picks, yeah.
Yeah. It's going to look the biz. Yeah, we'll crack that on because it's going to be versatile too. We can use it for multiple systems too, so it'll be sweet. So
Sweet.
you heard it. It's on.
It's on.
All right, cool.
I didn't say when though.
Well, it's going to take a while. Obviously, I'd say he's about halfway through. I'd say,
It's coming
judging
from
from the
Poland or
pics.
something, is it?
Yeah, and he's over in Poland, so it's a bit of probably another
So
2
it's coming
weeks in
from a
shipping.
sweatshop via China to
Well,
Poland to
Yeah,
Australia.
probably. Yeah. So I'll probably rock up in about 15 pieces.
So we sort of went off the beaten track there. So yeah, so I guess because we were so insular, and I guess some of our listeners, I'm sure, just stick to one system. I sort of figured, well, because we touch on so much and we play so many different games, it'd be good just to touch on a specific mechanic now and again, just to run through it and how that works and why we like it or why we don't like it.
So is this like an infomercial?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
Helping
to
some of the
explain-
listeners who may be not so aware of some of these other game systems about some of the mechanics involved in these games.
Correct.
Yeah, but it's not just a sales pitch as well. It's going to be pretty critical. There are plenty of mechanics I want to talk about that
I'll be critical.
I actually don't like, and I think that people put up with stuff. So, yeah, I've certainly got a page-long list of stuff I want to talk about, but I'm a rules guy, so that's probably not surprising. Yeah. But we'll kick it off anyway, and since this was Greg's segment,
So what's the first one?
the first mass debate we're going to have is about...
The ARO mechanic in Infinity, which stands for Automatic Reaction Order.
Yep. Hashtag not an Infinity podcast.
And I think I want to kick off by saying that it really caught me, this specific mechanic, when you first played it here at your house, at the recording studio, I should say. Sorry.
At the recording...
Sorry, at the recording studio. It just totally captured my imagination when we played it. So, and the way it works is the way the Infinity stats are set, or I guess the way the turn system is set up. Every trooper gets, and you might have between, say, 10 and 20, roughly, troopers.
Depends how much of a cheesemonger you are, yeah.
Well, if you're middle of the road, you'd say 20. Let's just say, for example. Because,
Whatever helps you sleep at night, mate.
Okay.
Keep going.
Thank you. So, and jump in if I'm saying incorrect, you don't think it's right,
Sure.
Jacob. So, every
It's
trooper...
not like me, but I'll try to...
Every trooper essentially generates an order, and you use that order to activate a trooper. That's the first part. So you use your order to activate. The trooper then, say, moves. Now, if it crosses line of sight of, say, Muddy's trooper, which is sitting on the other side of the table.
Is this the bit where I go, suppressive fire?
Yeah. Yes.
Cool.
Yep. And you're in suppressive fire, or you've got some sort of a gun, and you can shoot. And if I cross your line of sight, then you get to shoot me. So it's not Infinity doesn't revolve around a you go, I go system, or I play my entire player turn and then you play your entire player turn. It's very much a very interactive system. So if I do anything, and it can be in a magnitude of things, it's just not necessarily
It's only one
shooting.
shot though, isn't it?
Well, suppressive fire is actually 3. You can actually get up to 3 shots. But in general, it's 1 shot, correct? Yeah. And there's other ways you can generate AROs, which affects your trooper. But the simplistic one, and I think we'll try and keep it like that, is keep it as simple as possible, is generating the shot from crossing someone's line of fire. And then we have a dice off, essentially. It's your dice versus my dice. And the winner then has to make an arm save. And if you fail your arm save, then you're squished. You go to unconscious or you lose a wound. And the whole ARO mechanic lends itself to the tagline which Infinity uses, which is always your turn. So you're always in the game. So games generally last, a tournament game generally lasts around 2 hours, and you do not switch off as the opponent, the opposition player. You don't sit down and take a break for any time. You don't sit down your butt and just go, oh yeah, okay, Muddy's moving, I'll just switch off here for a second.
Depends how hungover you are, really.
Yeah, so you are in the game for that full 2 hours. There's no point where you're not looking to see if your guys can see one of Muddy's enemies or one of his troops cross your line of sight, so you can ping a shot off at him. And of course, you can set traps up. There's various ways and mechanics that you can fool your opponent so that they think, oh yeah, it's cool to cross this little gap, and boom, before you know it, you've got shots coming your way and that you never thought were even there. So it really...
So ambushed.
Yeah, exactly right. So I think it's a very clever mechanic. The fact that it keeps you engaged all the time, I think it's brilliant, innovative.
Yeah, I got to agree. It definitely achieves what it sets out to do, and that's to keep you engaged the whole time. Which is why Infinity can be such a brain drain when you're playing.
Yeah, look, there's definitely that element to it, and the fact that there's so many rules. But I think if you scale up correct, and you've got a good teacher, as you were back in the day,
shucks,
and you step through it correctly, and don't go from 0 to a million miles an hour straight away, like 0 to a tournament style game straight away, then that's the wrong thing to do. But that's any game. I think any game, if you try to start off at 0 and go to a tournament list build, you're looking at it from the wrong angle. You gotta go through the steps. Put the training wheels on the little bike, and off you go, and then take the training wheels off whenever you feel comfortable to step up.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. It's AROs and Muddy's biting his tongue right now.
He's drumming his fingers.
Oh, look, I'm going to jump in.
Okay,
I actually find the AROs quite frustrating, actually. Now, I haven't played a ton of games, so it's someone from who, let's be honest, didn't really dig the game, so maybe I'm a little bit negative on it. I found the AROs, because you can constantly just be doing it, I thought it would have been done better if it had a tactic in how you used your AROs so that you could only react to one thing rather than constantly stopping the game, it felt like, for the same model to be reacting so many times to so many possible different situations. To me, it actually loses, like, Infinity to me is quite a tactical game, and I felt like the times I've played it, the ARO mechanic actually made it less tactical by letting the ARO be like a cover-all situations. I would have preferred it to be one team can react to one thing, and that way you would have to try and think what your opponent is actually doing with the movement of their troops. So I might have to let something pass because I think something else is going to pass later in the movement
so
turn.
You've only got one arrow.
One ARO. I thought that would have made it a lot more tactical and sped the game up at the same time.
That's interesting.
Because I found the AROs quite slow.
I completely agree with that.
Yep.
If each model had to spend its own order. But because the models can spend any order and it can spend as many orders as there are in the pool, you can't have
That's
that
a
rule.
bigger topic, though, because that's where you're bringing up the fact that when Greg usually plays, he's got like a whole bunch of guys that don't move the whole
What are we
game.
talking about? They're all...
Just for the orders.
Cheerleaders, they call them.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's another part. If we ever talk about that's another part of the game I don't like.
That's on my list, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, so I get what you're saying with AROs. And if it was just you had to hold your fire for one reaction, that would be fine. But because each model can move as many times as there's orders, as long as it's not dead.
Yeah, but then another team could react. What I'm saying is these guys in this position can react once to whatever happens once. But if they go across the other side of the street because he's using his action points or whatever
orders,
to use them again, Ramboing it is the term,
correct,
then another team might be able to see them. They can react to that team.
I think, look, I don't disagree with what you're saying. I think.
I'm definitely right.
Yeah, I think it's a fair
Hit your
point.
hand off it.
But that's why we're having a mass debate.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah. So one thing that the ARO generation does is it creates certain pieces that are experts at it, and I think that's what we ran up against was. So you're right. Normally you have one dice when you ARO, so you might have a burst in your active turn, is called. So whenever you activate the piece, that particular weapon might have burst 3. So in other words, you're rolling 3 dice. But in your ARO turn, it only has 1. Now that's a set rule across the whole platform. But then the special rules alters that, and you might get a heavy machine gun that actually rolls 4 dice in its ARO turn. So, and that's its specific rule. So, and that's where you might come across this sort of slowing down effect. But that's actually because that particular trooper is built for AROs. It's built. So again, your sniper is another one where it's built for ARO. So you find a sniper tower, you put it up there, and it's there to ping people off as they walk through, the game board. And that builds, in my eyes, that builds the Infinity scene. It's you're playing on a movie, and you're not gonna just walk up a street whenever you got a sniper, pinging you off. Basically, you need to react to that piece that's trying to kill you.
But the sniper might not want to take that shot because it's actually waiting for a more valuable target to cross that same street.
Well, to take that,
and by giving away its position, that said valuable piece is now not going to cross the road.
Well, take that analogy again. The sniper doesn't. You don't have to always shoot.
There's no negative to doing the ARO though. Realistically, was there?
Well, there can be, because you can actually stack the mods in your favour. So if you're playing with a player that just goes, yeah, I'll shoot, you can actually stack the mods where it's impossible for him to hit you. So he'll go, yeah, I'll shoot, and then oh crap, I can't actually hit you because you've stacked the mods so heavily in your favour.
But that's not necessary. Okay, you're making it harder for him for that to hit. But there's no negative to actually just doing the action. You're not suffering anything from it.
From the
ARO? You just might not hit.
Well, so what'll happen is you can't hit me because you got like a -10 on you. So we use D20s in Infinity just for the listeners.
Yep.
So we use D20s. Now you might get a -10 or a -12, which is the max. That's where it caps out at. So you can't hit me at all. But I've stacked the mods, so I know I can hit you. So you can't hit me. So you've declared ARO shoot, but I can hit you with my burst 3 or burst 4 weapon, and you're a toast.
But you've just painted the best possible scenario for that to occur in your you stacking the dice in your favour.
Yeah.
Obviously, a sensible player then isn't going to take the shot.
But then sensible players generally don't leave their pieces out for ARO. They'll maybe leave one tooled up piece, and that's generally it. Because in Infinity, you can slice the pie. You can because we play a lot of, that's the other thing for listeners, we play with so much terrain in Infinity, like they're quite dense, the boards are probably a third to half.
And that's part of the reason, that's why I found it slowed the game down so much. Is I can see why you need a lot of, it makes the board look amazing, don't get me wrong, but you say you never switch off or it's all, okay. But you are constantly having to stop and go, oh wait, can you just wait? And you're constantly looking, because you're constantly looking for
I'll jump in here.
AROs.
I'm not an argumentative fella, but I've had arguments over Infinity about the ARO mechanic.
I think it's
because
one of the negatives for the game.
There's two things that keep popping up for me that make bad Infinity games. People that can't count their orders.
Yep.
They don't know how many 10 are, and line of sight.
Yep.
Okay? And what you can see, what you can't see, who that sort of stuff is. And I get there's a whole bunch of ways that people can resolve it. But some people are very generous or with what their models can see as opposed to what your models can see sometimes.
And it's really relying on a gentleman's code with the line of sight in Infinity.
Yeah.
You really are.
To an extent.
And it tends to be the players that can't count to 10.
Yes.
If they're order pool, that you have these arguments with about who can see.
But I don't know if we're branching off here. I don't know.
Yeah, it is one of those things. And this is probably something that, a game that doesn't operate in this always your turn spectrum has in its advantage, is if you're playing, say, Kings of War, which is it's only your turn when it's your turn.
Yeah,
you
because
don't do
it's
anything.
Yeah, there's no way you can slow play in Kings of War.
Yeah, you get these sorts of things where you get. There's no argument about what you can do in someone else's turn because you don't get a choice.
But then we don't have. It's obviously a mass combat fantasy game versus.
Yeah, very different games.
Tons of scenery.
But at their pointy end, they're both designed for tight tournament play.
That's a good point. They're both these games are designed specifically. Well, you've got the ITS.
Yeah, no, definitely,
for tournament play.
Yeah.
What I would say though, King's War is a 2D playing environment,
Yep.
essentially.
Yep.
And it's even got a height scale. For
Yep, it's all scaled
so
by
it's
height.
scaled.
Yep, to
Whereas
take
Infinity
away the
doesn't
grey
have
area.
that. We have silhouettes for the troops.
But even the silhouettes, I've had this discussion with you guys. You still need to use your line of sight to figure out.
Yeah, you do. Yep.
Whereas with Kings, and I'm not referring because it is a very different game and it has to be done in a different way, but it is scaled.
What I would say,
There's
though,
no line of sight in that regards. It is height 3, height 2 equals this.
to get back to the ARO side of things and the fact that it can slow things up. I think the other things we played doubles, which naturally is going to slow things up anyway because you've got 4 players instead of the 2. But I think if you've got a player that knows his army, like anything, if you know your army and know how it plays, there should be no reason for you to bust through that 2R and fly through it, even with questions over line of sight and whether or not you've got an arrow to me. There should be no questions over it whatsoever.
But one of the areas where you guys brought up previously that the Australian Infinity scene was having some problems that perhaps you needed to look abroad for some solutions was one of the tactics that came up recently with the 40k was the slow play element. Okay, now that, as we said, I think the comment was slow play is a cancer. Okay, now you seem to be able to play your list quite quickly, but when you're adding a lot of orders, a lot of terrain, a lot of line of sight questions, a lot of AROs, it is slowing the game.
Well, look, we had 69 players at CanCon. I didn't hear of any slow play issues.
But you are relying on, like I said, the gentleman's code for this to occur. This could be treated in a very other. It can be manipulated very easily by someone of a dubious
that's what your TOs.
character.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you'd call them on it pretty bloody quick because you could tell that if somebody rocked up, and I know it's happened in tournaments we've attended where they've rocked up with 20 orders and they just can't. They're just taking in like an hour to get through one turn. You're like,
So how does the tournament with the ITS handle that?
Well, it doesn't specifically mention it in the document. But that's a separate thing. I want to just talk about the ARO side.
Okay, all right.
Okay, that's a separate discussion.
Well, I've given my points on the ARO then. I'm happy with that.
Yeah. What about you, Jacob? What do you think of the ARO?
No, like it's certainly to me pretty unique in how it's done. But there's a lot of stuff in Infinity that's pretty unique to how it's done.
Yeah.
And I think it has to play the way it does because of the way you use the order pools. You have to, because if you fluff that first shot with your HMG while he's 5 orders away, you guys are just not going to sit there for the next 5 orders with his heavy machine gun, with his captain in the comms going, conserve your ammo. Like, it's just not going to... It doesn't make sense to have this one shot at a guy and then have him walk freely up to you until he's in his optimal band, and you can't do anything about that.
Particularly with the Rambo elements.
That's exactly right. But if it was just you used your own order, then I'd be all for holding the thing.
Yeah.
But again, that's
It changes the game,
It's
though.
a different order mechanic, though.
Yeah.
So I think AROs are a necessary element to the Infinity game.
That's just jumping on. I know we're completely out of the spectrum. If they change that...
They won't.
If I'm just saying, if they changed that to make it each unit had an activation point, like a lot of other games, right?
Yep.
I would have a lot less issues with the game. The whole Ramboing and that, while cinematic, and I get it because you love that whole feel, I feel that creates more dramas than what it fixes with the game.
To me, I think it really defines armies into a set. You have your cheerleaders that provide your orders, you have your ARO pieces that do your AROs, and you've got your Rambos that do all the shit.
Yep.
Which is fine because that's how the game's...
That's the game.
That's how it's
I think you
distilled
said at a previous time, you either like a mechanic or you don't like the mechanic. Last episode. You either like it, you play it. If you don't whinge about it, don't play it. And I think we've voted with our feet, both of us.
Let's play a game of Infinity.
Oh, what?
Where
I'll watch.
each model only gets its order.
Oh, I'll play that. I'll play that with you.
And see how it plays out.
Be different.
Do a small game on a 3x3 or something.
Can I have those werewolf things again?
Yep.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Because obviously you're going to want to play on a smaller board because you're going to be more movement.
You'll have to help me
across
though
it.
with all the rest of the
Yeah, what do you reckon?
Yeah,
Let's try. Let's see how it goes. Let's do a bit of experiment.
Yeah, let's do it.
Interesting.
And you can report back and tell us what your thoughts are in playing it in
all
a
of
different
us.
format.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it could be fun.
Or has anyone else tried it?
Don't know.
Any
If anyone out there has
listeners?
actually played, maybe you tried out Infinity for the first time and didn't realise you could pool your orders.
Yeah.
And you just played a bunch of games with... Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll get JT as a local war core to come in and...
Because even if you, like, sometimes you know how you get the bonus activation tokens?
Command orders.
Command tokens, and you get to, so you end up, I guess, having more tokens than necessarily you have sections, groups, whatever. I'd be okay with that if you had a couple of extra bonus ones.
Yeah, I think you still keep your impetuous orders. and
Yeah,
things
like a
that.
couple of extra, like one or two extra, like your leader one or something to give it a, you know, so one unit or one section, one whatever could do something extra that turn. But just having this stockpile of chips, poker chips that I just can burn on one guy, I feel like it's a bit of a miss. Yeah, but it's interesting. Like we've both voted with our feet. I said that before. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, I think that could be fun. But Greg, do you know how I know you're gay for AROs?
I'm gay for AROs.
Yep.
Okay, I didn't realise that
'Cause
was
he-
such a...
Because he masturbates over them.
That was a statement.
Yeah.
But anyway.
You wanted to have a massive... Yeah. No, when we were designing ABC,
Yep.
right back in the day,
Oh, here it comes.
Yep.
you were like, I don't want this game to be Infinity.
And then what? Did he do everything he could to turn it into it?
But no,
No?
it was quite different.
Oh, right.
But there were still AROs.
There was. You're right.
He loves it.
Yep.
He loves it.
Yeah.
It's a
So
cool
you were consciously going, I don't want this game to be Infinity. I love Infinity.
But I
play
love this
Infinity. I
mechanic.
think about Infinity. I don't want it to be that. But then you wrote AROs into it.
And that's you. That's the Greg's the voting with his feet. He enjoys that mechanic, and he's tried to import it into a game that he's creating because he thinks it's a good mechanic.
And we still put Overwatch rules in there.
Yeah.
And then we still had Snapfire rules. So
Yeah.
it's like that. But
It works exactly like that, like you said.
You get that one shot.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean the better way?
I wouldn't say it's better.
And
That's
just-
why I like ABC, right? Over Infinity. See? I didn't even think of
That was
that.
because you can use plastic models.
No. Because if Infinity worked for me in a few more elements, because it's not just one element, there's a few elements that it doesn't quite work for me, which I know we have quite a few people that play Infinity, so I'm not trying to derail them or anything like that. I would actually play with you. Why wouldn't I play it? You know, you guys all play it. I just, they're all metal models. I'd just get someone to paint them for me or something. I'll sling them over to you, like the guys to paint, because I hate touching them. But I'd play it. I would play it, but there's just too many little knocks on it that just make me go.
No, that's fair enough.
And the fact that it's a very heavy game.
It's a complicated game. It's not a one you'd introduce to a beginner, I would say. Or maybe you would, because they would have nothing else in their brain and they'd be like, they would
Get them while they're fresh.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think somebody maybe who's said played 40k, for example. I think this might be. It's more intense. It's like I've now. How long have we been playing Infinity? 3 years. You've been
3
playing
years
it
now.
longer
Yeah.
than me.
Yeah.
So it's about 3 years, and only now will I say I'm confident with the rules. I wouldn't even say competent. I would say I'm competent, not confident.
Even saying that, you guys came back from CanCon and you were doing a rule completely wrong.
Yeah, exactly right.
The one we were shooting into
Thicket of Thorns, or what it was.
some foresty thing, and it was split.
Saturation.
Saturation.
That's
That's
the one.
In one mission, it's called Thicket of Thorns.
So like
Yeah.
you said, you've been playing this.
Yeah.
And how many editions of the game? Two editions
it's
of
a
Infinity?
Second edition we've been in Infinity.
Yeah. So, and you're still picking up stuff.
Yeah.
So.
So that's it in a nutshell, listeners. I mean, that's the ARO mechanic.
So-
Essentially, you get to shoot at any, not just once, as Muddy has said,
Oh, just everything.
quite a few times.
It's like Rambo.
Every single time a model activates in your line of sight as the enemy, you get to shoot at it, or you get
Or do something else.
You get the option.
and you get to
The other thing, the other big thing you do is dodge.
Yeah.
So if you can't shoot or you're not in favourable odds to shoot, you've got a chance to duck out of the way. So that's generally what I do.
Yep, and you can hack as well, which is that you can, if they're got mechanics like a robot or heavy infantry, which has got like the heavy suit of armor, you can jam them up with hacking. So essentially, you're getting in there with your little computer jobby and screwing around with their electronics. So there's different ways of screwing with your opponent during their activation. So it's great. And if you ever want to try it, get onto Infinity Australia and hit up your local club or your local dudes, whatever.
Or just rock up at your slow grow.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Or the Magic Vaults.
Magic Vault, there you go. Head down and play some Infinity.
Friday night, there's people playing. It's a massive hub for
Yeah,
Infinity at the moment.
Jump on the contest, get a free army, free rules, head down to the Magic
We're trying
Vault.
to give away a fully tournament ready-ish Tohar army here. So
It's fully legal.
it's fully legal. Yeah.
ITS ready.
Yeah.
Yep. Good, Muddy.
Yeah,
Look
I'm
at
loving
that.
it. Oh, yeah, I'm into it.
I think you're going to win it.
I'm going to get the Samurai one. I'm going to get the Samurai army
You can just borrow mine.
by Warlord.
All right, gents, you want to call it there for masturbating mechanics?
Masturbating mechanics.
All right, and if you've got a game mechanic you'd like us to masturbate,
Over.
You need a bit of a pause between the mass and the debate.
okay,
It's
to mass.
You named this, so just putting it out there.
Yeah.
This is your fault.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, a little pause goes a long way.
All right, I'll try it. If you have a rules mechanic you would like us to masturbate over,
Much
Did I do that right?
Much like the Jizz Golem from Mantic.
oh yeah. Mass debate. Are we
missive? A missive.
Are we 12? I feel like we're 12 right now.
No, I'm not. Clearly. I'm not crying in the corner like Greg is right now. He's literally crying. He's got tears.
I haven't seen him laugh this much since he was beating us at Aristea.
I know.
Get stopped. That is not true.
And he still gave it a 4.
That is so not true.
You were giggling.
No.
You were so...
It was good fun.
Yeah.
It was good fun.
Yeah, it was fun while he was winning.
All right. Well, listeners, we might wrap it up there. Thanks for listening. Again, I'm going to give it a final shout out to all our Patreon supporters, including, but not limited to, Jesse, Tom, Greg,
Burgers.
Gideon,
Yeah,
Lucas.
Lucas. Holy crap.
DT,
Oh, DT, yeah.
Millsy,
Millsy. Are you serious?
Oh, yeah.
JT,
Oh, yeah.
and our boy, Mickey,
Oh, Mickey.
who jumped on most recently.
Yes.
Okay?
What?
No,
Is
nothing.
that racist?
Nothing. So, because of the support of the awesome legends like these, we were able to get these tasty new mics.
Which I'm absolutely loving.
Bit lightsaber-ish.
They're silver. Yeah?
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
Yeah. You like the hilt of a lightsaber.
That's about the only similar bit to a
Well, it's got a blue
lightsaber.
light on it.
You'll be able to look out for them
I thought you'd have a red
when we
one.
drop our rap video.
Oh, it's going to be sick.
It's not
It's
happening.
going to be sick,
It's not
bro.
happening. I'm not doing it.
Irish Stew's going to be rocking the mic.
I'm not doing it.
He'll be spitting fat rhymes.
I said Cherokee. I said, they want me to do a rap. She said, what? Want you to do a rap? I said, yeah, I want me to do a rap. I said, I'm not doing it. I'm not surprised.
We've got all the ammunition.
That's it.
We're going to get Google to wrap it out for you.
So, yeah, if you love what we do, you can be a Power Stance gamer as well and back us on Patreon. Feel free to get in touch on our socials.
Don't forget to buy a shirt.
Oh, yeah. Check out the shop.
New shirts coming soon.
Hashtag FuckToha, bestseller.
You should send one to Carlos.
Carlos is Pano boy, isn't he?
I'm not sure. Should do an Aristea one.
Well, the amount of love that they get, you'd think Carlos must love Pano.
Oh, you could do one about the gunslinging thin dick guy.
Oh, droopy gun.
Droopy gun.
My Wild Bill did not have a droopy gun. Thank you very much.
But he's like, his gun was like, had
No, he
more
was fine.
size
He
than
was
his
fine.
body.
He was fine. That was Jacob's comment, not yours. Okay.
If it's a good shirt though.
You know it's coming. There's going to be a droopy gun Wild Bill shirt coming.
Gumby with a gun.
Facebook
Facebook.
is the best place to do that. That's where we're
Best
most
place.
active. YouTube, Muddy.
YouTube.
All right. Do a search for Power Stance Gaming Podcast on YouTube.
PSG.
You can tweet Greg.
Tweet.
PS Gaming Podcast. And he'll get back to you when he downloads the app.
Hashtag ARO.
Just gonna ask you, do I have to download an app for that?
I have to download an app. It's like an Uber.
You can follow us on Podbean and get our episodes when they drop straight away. Follow us on iTunes
Drop it
if
like
you're
a tar. Drop it
Mac
like a tar.
kind of guy. Muddy, you're a Mac guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm all about the Mac. I'm all about PC too.
Would you say it's the return of the Mac?
Ooh, that's pretty good.
Yeah. You got Mac Daddy?
Yeah,
a miggity Mac?
Miggity Mac.
It is the new mics, Greg. I'm sorry.
It's the new mic.
They're so cool.
Oh God, make it end.
All right. Any final thoughts, Greg?
No, I think just keep listening, listeners, and yeah, send us some feedback and questions, and yep.
Sweet. Muddy?
New York.
Would you put it down? Put it back in its holder.
Ah, we're good.
Put it back in, Muddy.
Yeah, I'll put it in. I'll get it in there.
That's the wrong hole.
Stop squirming. Oh, still.
All right. That's all from me. Heads up. Next episode is
These ciders are good.
Muddy taking control of the cast.
I'm taking over.
Muddy's taking over, so God help us all. Greg, you coming strapped to that
I
episode?
might want to skip that episode.
It's going to be loose. It's going to be great. And we look forward to having you company then. So, listeners, good night.
Good morning.
Pony up.
Thank you for listening to Power Stance Gaming Podcast, the #1 place for tabletop gaming and hobby banter. You know you love us. See you soon.
Shake your rope.